Whoa! That was pretty sick. Downloading BF4 for console. My toaster wouldn't handle BF4. I don't know, you might be surprised. I don't know what your toaster's got, but the Battlefield 4 settings are pretty flexible. I mean, there's a lot going on, but if you bring down your settings, then it kind of simplifies the environment. Like, I'm surprised Battlefield works as well as it does. It's a miracle. There's so much stuff going on, like all the particles, all the action. Like in Cinema 4D, this would probably take like hours to render just a couple of frames, yet it can do it at 60 frames per second or more. It's amazing.
Alright guys, I'm off to bed.
Alright, man. Great games tonight.
GG.
Yeah, keep it crispy, boys.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Indeed.
You saved my life, Sims.
I did. I feel like I'm contributing something to this game.
You're a hero like that. You're a hero like that fucker right in the pussy guy. You saved me.
Fucker in the pussy. That guy is a hero, isn't he?
He is a hero.
How does he do it? I don't know how he does it.
I don't know.
He's like an old guy too, you know? He's just...
Yeah,
He just knows.
I feel for him.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I got the
one.
last kill.
Zero Reed says, I need the Swifty PC. Man, don't we all? I could use a couple of those actually with my renders. I could actually use a couple of them and stack them on top of each other. Just let them rip. I think I'm kidding. I swear I could use about 6 of them. I think computer hardware and rendering hardware is something that I feel bad that I'm not more modest about, but I take it to the limit with these renders. Like, I mean, I've got renders like my intros the giveaway series intros. The Stormwind one I made took 14 hours to render on my render farm. Using multiple computers, it took 14 hours to render, and that's just, 10 seconds of 3D. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, if for like more heavy duty 3D. Well, the one I've got right here is an i7 4770K, and then I've got the i5. It's like a second generation i5 and a couple of Core 2 Duos that have just kind of been handed down. Because my family knows that I put all my computers together, so if anybody gets an upgrade, they'll be like, hey, do you want this computer? It doesn't work. I don't know how to fix it. I'm like, fuck yeah, and I tear it apart, put it into the render farm. So yeah, I've got a couple of Core 2 Duos in there. And those ones are slow. They don't work really well for 3D, but they still do work. They will help. And so the Swifty computers, if I could put a couple of Xeons on it, it would make a huge difference. Then we could do something serious.
Yeah, I have a few
Medic,
processors
sorry, that's
laying
medic.
around.
Get it.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm racking up some points for all those heals.
did you actually get your stream to show up in your raid call? That's interesting.
That's something that's part of raid call. If you have your raid call, if you have a raid call, you can go into the channel settings, and I think you can actually set it in there. Oh fuck.
Really? It's that easy?
Yeah, it was for this one. I don't know if we needed any administrative help to do that. We were speaking with administrators and developers early on. You know, this number 7170, it's a pretty low number. So we've been doing this since like the beginning of raid call, basically. And we had some developers that would come in here and help us stress test and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's something they did or if everybody can do it. But if you post in the Flash embed URL for your Twitch stream, it just like shows up. And they wanted you to do that. It was intended for that.
Nice.
Oh shit. Alright, that guy's good.
Yeah. I mean, I got a decent processor on mine, but I need a new graphics card soon.
96 gigabytes of RAM. I actually convinced Swifty to go up to 96 gigabytes. Because that was when he was trying to capture 4K video on his badass machine. And I think he only had like 32 or 64. And he was going to do a RAM disk, and I was telling him, dude, you've got that server motherboard, put some more memory in there. And he's like, well, how much memory does this thing hold? And I was like, it holds more than 64 because you've got a fucking Xeon server board in there. I bet it goes up to 96 or 128. And sure enough, he called the guys at Origin, and they gave him the specs on the memory, put a couple more sticks in there. Run WoW on a RAM disk. Adobe After Effects would take up every megabyte of that 96 gigabytes of RAM. So if I get a server board, which I would really love to do, I could get my After Effects action up. And you actually you wouldn't think that you'd need that much memory at any time. But when you have multiple cores, you can utilize that memory. And if Swifty's computer has what, like 30 fucking cores or whatever it has, he's got two 12-core processors. That's 24 physical cores. That's like 48 threads total. That's a lot of threads. And if you were going to run After Effects on that many threads, you would need 96 gigabytes, probably minimum, to utilize all of those cores in a rendering environment. For After Effects anyway. Cinema 4D wouldn't be as bad. I think Cinema 4D is a little better about that, but After Effects wants more RAM per core.
You should make a tutorial on raid call. Yeah.
What do you mean, on how to use raid call?
The live stream part of it, where you put your live stream in it.
Oh, I could probably take care of that in just like a screenshot of what my setting window looks like.
Right.
Oh, I got one dude. Yeah. I would really like to get some more RAM for my slave computers. But even though RAM is not like insanely expensive, it's not really all that cheap either. So there's so many things I'd rather invest the money in computer-wise than RAM for my
Do you have a
slaves.
PO box?
I don't, but I'm gonna set one up. I just moved here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
So I have a big box full of just old RAM card, just a shit ton of RAM.
Dude, nice. I think all my machines are using DDR3. So I've also got a bunch of old RAM that I can't use just from building PCs, but if you have DDR3, that would be like, that'd be like a gold mine.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'd have to look at everything because my stepdad is a computer IT and he gave me a whole bunch of old computer parts, processors, RAM, different shit
Nice.
a while ago. So I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure.
That's how I've been able to kind of put together a couple of extra computers for a render farm, is just those spare parts, like, you know, collecting those parts, and then you find you have enough to just, because for like a render box, you don't need a monitor. There's a lot of things you don't need. You don't even need a graphics card if it has onboard video. There's lots of things that you can just kind of do without, and just put the box in a closet or somewhere, remote into it, fire up a render queue, good to go.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where's that coming from? Got owned! Oh guys, you know, speaking of computer parts, I'm really excited about these new Intel processors that just came out. And I'm going to try my best to get one. And I'm probably going to need the help from the YouTube company that I'm working with. They want me to render some videos for them. And I said, the amount of videos you want rendered, we're going to need to upgrade the equipment. And so they might help actually sponsor me to get the new Intel processor, which would be really, really cool. All the new Intel processors, there's 3 of them that came out. It's like, they're in the 5000 series. It's like 57, what are they, like 5920K, 5930K, something like that. I don't memorize the numbers yet because they just came out. But they're 2 of them are 6-core and 1 of them is an 8-core processor. The 8-core one is an extreme edition. It's $1,000, but the cheapest one is just shy of $400. It's 6-core, and it's going to replace like the 4770K or the 4790K that came out, which are almost $400 by themselves. So for 6 cores, it's cheaper than the current 6-core Intel solution. The current 6-core one is like $500+, and this one is less than 400. It's got all 6 cores, so pretty excited about that. It's going to be a great rendering machine, great rendering processor, and a great gaming processor. Damn, I didn't even see Easy Peasy. He came out of the sun. Look at him. Nice shot. No, Notify Edit says I'd get the AMD. No way, man. The AMDs, they just don't even compare to the Intel benchmarks for video editing. They just don't. I don't know why. I wish they did. I would go AMD in a heartbeat. But they just don't. They just don't. They're still great value. But they're just not there on the benchmarks. Even the 8-core one. Don't know why. For gaming, I think AMD is good, but for editing, I've got to stick with the Intels. It's just the way it is right now.
I've always been an Intel, NVIDIA person, never AMD.